Islam Dwayne. Hold on 1 second. I think the camera, it is, hold on. I just came back from going to the room. I left my my highlighters, my pens, things I use to write notes. I'm at Whole Foods in Annapolis, Maryland. The things I use to write notes and to post, I like to highlight certain things, and I left them all at the room. So, and I washed my locks, and I haven't finished them yet. As you can see, they're getting very long. So, so I'm gonna make this really quick. So it's 1 minute. So what I wanted to tell you is, for at least 1 week, what I plan to do is, I just got through walking outside. I'm not gonna post. I just want to make sure this is what you want to do. I'm so happy that you turned around and you started posting again on Twitter. It really made me feel good. And I was really happy. Really, and I am, still is. I'm really, really happy. Yeah, and anyway, so let's see. Today is Wednesday, Tuesday. So Monday, I went into earn money at Burger King as a Moorish American Hebrew Muslim, as a natural divine being, implementing natural law, which consists of the U.S.A. Constitution of 1787, Abraham Lincoln's Proclamation, all aspects of the U.S.A. Constitution of 1787, Articles of Association, which is ratified in 1774, Articles of Confederation, ratified 1778, and the Declaration of Independence, which is 1776, all those wonderful documents. And then the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. So every time I walk inside Burger King to earn money, my state of mind is I am implementing constitutional law and demonstrating constitutional law, which consists of the 13th Amendment with 20 sections. And also I am implementing, as a Hebrew Muslim, Moorish American, which is my nationality, the Emancipation Proclamations, all four of them, because they are in conjunction with the 13th Amendment with 20 sections, which is a part of the Constitution of 1787. And as Moorish Americans, that is according to Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4, we demonstrate or implement naturalization. Black, African American, white, pale skin, Hispanic, none of those terms are nationality. And you have to have a nationality in order to be naturalized. So as a Moorish American, which is my nationality, every time I enter into Burger King with a nationality and going through these divine steps of naturalization, according to Article 1, Section 8, Clause 4, according to the proclamations of Abraham Lincoln, it makes me feel just. I walk in there with integrity, and it's a form of demonstration of a healthy state of mind, because I'm navigating under true law, organic law, divine law. So it makes me feel healthy, mentally healthy, physically, because mental health is connected to physical health, and spiritually, Islam. So I'm going to leave it at that. So anyway, Monday when I went in to earn money, I felt really well. I really did. I was so happy to see. I was so happy because Tuesday, Monday was like 99% illumination of a full moon, and Tuesday was a full moon. And and then I said, oh, there's my Dwayne Bey. Yes, because I told you, I said you cannot turn around and love me. I wanted you to turn around, and so it really made me feel good. But I have to, and I know I'm looking a little giggly or whatever, but I'm serious. It just really made me feel good. It did. So let me continue. I have a puffy face. I walked outside and it's really cold outside. So for 1 week I won't be posting. Today is the 13th of November of 2019, and the reason why, I just want to make sure that this is what you want to do, that you want, and I want to be meditating and praying that you continue to turn around, and we continue to take baby steps in relearning ourselves, and relearning how to treat one another, and relearning how to love one another. And I just want to make sure. So I'm not going to post for 1 week, and I'm going to, in that 1 week, I'll be exercising, meditating, implementing self-care, sit-ups, breathing. You might, when I do post, you might see me maybe in the next 2 weeks. Actually, let me give you real quick some of the things I've experienced. Like, I had a forced mental, I'm trying to make this a quick video because I try to save my video time, financial balance, because it costs money to buy STD cards. So, but I still want to make sure that you understand this and really feel the sincerity. I'll be reading your tweets every day. Every day during this week, I'll be reading your tweets. Okay? So sometimes probably 2 or 3 times a day as I'm studying and writing. And anyway, so let me give you a few spiritual experiences I've experienced. And this goes the same with Imani-Bey, not experiencing any spiritual experiences, but when he goes to earn money at Wendy's, he's implementing natural law as a natural divine being, which consists of the U.S.A. Constitution, Abraham Lincoln's Proclamations, 13th Amendment, 20 sections. So, and he knows that, because we speak on this. That is our state of mind as Moorish Americans, Islam. And I'm thankful to have learned these teachings from Moorish American National Republic, Islam. So, I had a forced manipulated dream. At around American States Day, I still hearing the same males outside and around the room either saying "move," "I love you." Some of them have black Negro accents, pale skin accents, and once again, those are not nationalities; those are terms. White is not a nationality, and in order to be considered naturalized, a part of the human family, as a natural being, you have to claim a nationality. But I'm just giving you, I don't know if they have or not, but this, those that speak outside and around the room, they literally sound like animals. My cell phone is beeping as some of them speak outside and around the room, Spanish speaking. Also, some of them have an accent like Spanish speaking. My cell phone is beeping, like someone might say, "I love you." The brother outside and around the room, really close, like there's a mic inside the room. So I'm gonna upload one of the old recordings that I did. I had my tablet recording some of the odd noises and feedback inside the room, and I never uploaded it. So I'm gonna upload that too as well. So you, maybe within this 5 or 7 days you can listen to it. So actually, what I'm trying today is, so now I'm in a waning moon. So I think the next moon will be a last quarter moon. That's when I'll post again, the last quarter moon. So these spirits outside and around the room, they consist of male and female, and literally they sound like they're deranged, mentally off balance, literally like an animal, like a beast. When I was listening to the National Grand Sheet speak of, and you yourself and other Moorish Americans speak of civilization, or as in the beast, being among beasts or animal, I truly concur, because some of these spirits that either through their behavior and some of the things that I've noticed, and I call them spirits, because it doesn't have a spirit. You have clean and unclean spirits in all nations. And it doesn't have a spirit can come in many forms, unclean spirits. Okay, they don't have to be in a certain body, certain physiology. They literally sound like they are like an animal, literally like a beast, mumbling. And then my cell phone will go off. I have to, Imani-Bey and I, Arrington-Bey, we have to turn our cell phone off in the middle of the night. To keep the cell phone from going off, or the tablet might make a noise. Anyway, so that is something I noticed. Also, I had a manipulated dream A lot of and make a long story short, the manipulated dream, it was like several manipulated dreams. Most of them were with African American Negro blacks invading my dream, black male and females invading my dream, attacking. And I have to wake up in the middle of the night. And a lot of times Imani is sleeping so hard because he's 25 years old. He's working. He's being responsible. And he's sleeping. And when these spirits start speaking outside the room, saying, "Move, I love you, we paid," whatever. I don't know. Imani Gray Hyphen and I, Rhonda Arrington-Bey, we don't know anyone personally here in Annapolis. That goes from, he don't know anyone at Wendy's personally here as Moorish American. I don't know anyone at Burger King personally here. I don't know anyone here. When I come in here, it's more, and hopefully I just respect people's boundaries. And hopefully being I'm among civilized minds that can understand the importance of respecting someone else's boundaries. But obviously that's not the case. And that is their connection to not being inside the constitutional fold as a natural being, being naturalized. When you among a state of mind of savage animal, and they don't understand why they should not rape, murder, cause pain. That's definitely in conjunction of being outside of the constitutional fold, like a savage, an animal. So, but still, there are some who do. Even though they might not be in the constitutional fold, they still try to demonstrate that they are civilized and they're not an animal. Even though they might not understand that they're outside of Constitution and they're navigating under a foreign jurisdiction, they still try to demonstrate themselves as being civilized through their behavior, through the words they speak, and I guess through their thoughts, because in Imani Gray Hyphen-Bey and I, we don't have the science of telepathy. We reject that code, and we're thankful to have do so. And I don't judge those who have not, but we don't want it. But the thing is, getting back, we don't know anyone here personally. Still, it is November the 13th, 2019. We communicate with the National Grand Sheik. It's been a few weeks since I called, but we still have his number on speed dial. Dr. Nalani, these are all Moors, Moorish Americans. I'm sending texts to Selena. The same people I spoke about a year ago, 2 years ago. Pretty much it's the same Moorish Americans I talk to now. I recently communicated with my aunt in Georgia, and every once in a while we speak to her now. But otherwise, we don't talk to anyone personally. So, but we just maintain respect. We don't have to. We are demonstrating our constitutional right to not have to amalgamate with a society that is not a society that we want to amalgamate with. They're in a jurisdiction that we are not in the same jurisdiction that they are. And if too many of them are not in the constitutional fold, then they are vulnerable, and I know, definitely through experience, to be used as spiritual, physical, and mental terrorists, especially if they have the code of telepathy or science of telepathy. And they are not civilized in a state of mind. They're not civilized in their thoughts, which their thoughts dictate their behavior. So they're behaving like animals. So and that also connects to the U.S.A. the United States not being considered civilized among other nations in reference to physical health. It's very low in statistics according to physical health and mental health, very low. So I asked this question before, Dwayne. I said, what are they doing, other nations doing that the United States not doing? Because I give testimony about me experiencing forced sharp pains by unclean spirits. I'm on the bus. Spirits start talking. I'm feeling forced sharp pains. I'm earning money at Burger King. I'm feeling forced sharp pains. I'm walking, feeling forced sharp pains. I know they're forced because I'm a healthy individual, healthy Moorish American natural being. So what are the other nations doing that the United States is not doing that caused them to be so low in reference to physical health. And yet there's a statistic out there about illegal organ selling and how illegal organ selling, the slave sex trade, these young kids with the signs of telepathy being used for sex, being used for other things, and then literally been thrown away like trash, eliminated, killed, murdered. So once again, what are the other nations doing that the United States is not doing? That jurisdiction that caused the United States, caused those nations to be high in the first 5 or 10 numbers in health, mental, physical, and spiritual health, where the United States is in red. So once again, I correlate to naturalization, and many not being naturalized and behaving like animals. And in that, there's probably other things going on in DNA for them to behave like animals. So that's another subject. But otherwise, everything is well. So it was something else. Oh, getting back to the dream. So I had a dream. Like many force manipulated dreams, a lot of them, over 98 to 99% of them are of Negro, Black, or African American attacking, male and female attacking, and money is asleep a lot of times. When this, I wake up in the middle of the night, have to wake him up because someone's speaking outside of the room, and then money start making noises in his sleep. So I have to wake him up when we usually do a prayer, a prayer of chants of protection. Because usually someone is saying brother. Sometimes they have a Spanish accent. These military. Once again, I told you about that. Gave testimony about the military and how that it was odd because as British Americans we are taught to respect the United States Navy and Army because they're supposed to be protectorate. It states this in as British American we claim our actual freedom. Protectorate. We're not supposed to be walking around afraid or cautious when we see, but have respect for them when we see officers. So we're not supposed to be like, as British American, we're not supposed to think that they are here to behave like terrorists towards the inhabitants of this landmass. Okay, they're supposed to be here as protectorants of the inhabitants of this landmass, especially protect those that are implementing constitutional law, not as terrorists upon the inhabitants of this landmass, Islam. So that's I truly questions a lot of the behavior in reference to those that imply to be connected to the military or are connected to the military, because that means then they are definitely going against constitutional law and what they are supposed to be bound by through oath or affirmation to do these things. That's about it. So the dream was about me. Make a long story short, was about okay. Long story short was about wearing showing like makeup, eyeliner, lipstick. One time of this dream, and definitely a pale skinned spirit or energy was around doing as this was happening, like a pale skinned unclean spirit. And so I woke up and I was thinking about wearing eyeliner and eyeshadow. But what I have done is use alchemy, because if I choose to wear any form of eyeliner or makeup, because sometimes when you're dealing with those that are into slave breeding, they're trying to promote slave breeding. So they're not saying where if they're doing a commercialized advertisement, they're trying to put a picture of what they feel is natural, or what they want you to be presented as. It's sort of like setting a prostitute up, putting lipstick on a prostitute and putting her out there so that she could be advertising herself as a prostitute for whoever wants to slavery with her or him. A prostitute could be a male. But what I've done is use my thoughts and I looked up why ancient Native Americans wore eyeliner, or ancient Egyptians wore eyeliner. I looked up why they did certain things with certain minerals and plants on their face, and it was dealing with spirituality and protection. It wasn't cosmetic. So as I learn more about wearing eyeliner and how it connects to me as a spiritual being, that's why I would wear eyeliner or lipstick. And I'm going to focus on plant-based material. That's it. That's all I have to say. Pretty much. And yes, I have experienced different other. So I just said yes. I have just experienced different other spiritual attacks. Like sometimes I notice through telepathy, like someone might send a telepathic thought. Say I forgot something, like my keys in the room, and a male will send a telepathic thought of me forgetting my keys, and then all of a sudden someone outside will walk by like a spirit or say brother. You see, that's the brother, or say that's the brother in 3. So what they're trying to do is force invade your thoughts, because they're monitoring, so they can invade and then try to send a telepathic thought, whether they're trying to send thoughts of teaching. Like say I'm trying to understand a verse that I read in the Holy Bible or the Quran or Moorish literature. They'll send a telepathic thought. Mainly this is the black Negro or African American, these unclean spirits. This species of Negro or African American unclean spirits, a species that they created, will sends a thought in connection to that, and then start saying 3 or encourage the number 33 forcefully. And then in that, then they'll start trying to attack the genitals sexually, send sharp pains as though they have the right to, because they have invaded the thought. So this is the same method they use in causing masses of people to be financially diseased, where they making financial decisions that are not healthy for them, or maybe they cannot study, and they're in school, they're in college, they're trying to be a doctor, a lawyer, or some type of profession that takes a lot of discipline and focus to study, and you have these spirits that are invading. Maybe they're trying to block thoughts, or then if they want to encourage thoughts. So this is the same method, and also it's connected to abusing the science of telepathy, which is connected to bondage. Then that's because once again they'll start using the word paid, because if you don't know that your thoughts are being invaded and those are not your thoughts, then they'll start using the word paid. And most of the time, once again, this is the black Negro or African American doing this, but this is a species that is unclean, and then the pale skin, that's a species that is unclean. Now, not all of them, but this is a species that they created that is unclean, usually mixed with something else, maybe an ape or dog or whatever, sitting on the side to make sure that Negro is doing what they're supposed to do. And that goes with the Spanish speaking as well. So, and if you don't know, then you think, you truly don't get it. And so then they'll start using that as a reason to rape, molest, and cause harm, and saying that we got it, or that's ours, that's one of ours. Because their whole scheme is to implement bondage, because they're outside of the constitutional fold. Being outside of constitutional fold is going against divine natural law. And the divine natural law is connected to the spirit of freedom. Okay? So when you are a natural being connected to that spirit of freedom, then you are respectful of someone's boundaries. You don't have to use trickery. You don't have to impersonate. Some of them try to impersonate you, Dwayne. I can't tell you how many times an unclean Negro, a species male, would try to impersonate you to try to get me. So I would think that I'm actually hearing or seeing a visual spiritually of you. It's one of these Negro species that they created, trying to impersonate you so they can engage. So when you are in natural law and you're demonstrating freedom, which does not include causing harm. That's a form of civilized thought. Does not include raping and molesting. Then it's difficult to behave in such manner. Okay, so that's literally what's going on, and this is also these spirits. This is in connection to the earth and the universe healing. So if you're outside of natural law, then you're definitely going against what the earth and the universe was created in. And the earth and the universe was created in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Natural law. If you are outside of those natural divine laws, then you are definitely the enemy. Islam, that's those unclean demonic spirits, the enemy of Allah, which is love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Okay, so anyway, I tell Arrington-Bey all the time, we don't have to cause harm. We don't have to cause harm. Islam, we don't have to cause harm. We allow these spirits that are unclean, we allow a natural process to take over, natural law, which is obvious. I see it. It's plain to see, and they're cleansing them out and being recycled into something that's more beneficial for the earth and the universe. Now, in time, I said I was going to use my constitutional law and my constitutional rights, and I am going to I'm going to get a gun and use those constitutional rights to carry my gun, because we have the right to have a gun and other weapons according to constitutional law with a permit. So in time, I plan to do that. But there's other ways of protection. Okay, that's just physical protection. And you have to know how to protect your mind. And by learning how to protect your mind and your spirit, you have to be aware of the trickery and the unclean behaviors and the unclean acts that are done to manipulate your mind, which is which the goal is spiritual possession. Islam. So that's where I'm at now. I'll talk to you later. I know I talked a lot. I was supposed to only do this for 10 minutes. I'll talk to you later. Right? It's 27 minutes. And that's it. Even as I was saying this, it's almost like I could tell someone actually wanted to, I started to feel pressure around my anus. It's like a spirit was trying to restrain themselves from trying to attack my anus. Yeah, so that is very savage. It's like trying to use restraint, like they can't help themselves. And once again, the United States is not considered civilized and healthy according to other nations. And they are paying attention, these foreign nations, and they see, and they're looking at them, and they're like, look at those animals, look at those beasts. Why, you go over there and do what you need to do, you should leave. Islam. Bye.